In this section, we're going to learn on how to create our very first lens. So make sure you have actually clicked on your Lens Studio new project file, which means it's going to be clean and there is nothing else except for a new project. So click on new project and then you will have this. So in our very first lens, we're going to create a face lens that's going to have some sort of object on the face. So we're going to have some sort of an object on this face, right? So obviously you can change the person over here. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. So we're going to have something on the face, and to make that thing happen, we need to make sure we have our resources as well. So to make everything easier for you guys, let's just use whatever that has been given to us using Giphy. So just click on it. I'm going to look for glasses. So maybe I'm going to put something on their face that looks nice, right? Maybe something cool. Okay, I think this is nice. So as soon as after you just hover through this thing, you will see a plus icon. Just click on it and always make sure that you add as resource. The reason is because whenever you add as resource, you will understand better on how to import it as an object over here. So add as resource. So now when you expand this and click on this, you will see the object that you have imported. And definitely you could change this whole thing where you're not putting always play, which means it will be just an image. Or you can put a ping pong. It's a ping pong effect. You can put reverse, or you can also put just always play. So in this case, we're just going to put always play, and you can definitely change the duration as well. So I'm going to put maybe a bit faster, so you can see the animation is a bit faster. So these are like minor things that you could do, or whenever you import a Giphy. All right, so now once you have that done, now let's go to our object panel. So now we're going to create a face lens. So to create a face lens, we need to have a face image. So how do we create a face image? Because you want to make sure we put this as an image, right? So go to add new, and then you will see, just look for face effects. Under face effects, you will see face image. So you can definitely try other effects as well, but in this video we're going to create a face image. So just click on face image. Now this is the most important part of it. So you will have image over here, and as soon as after you see image, when you click on this, you will have the whole settings being displayed on inspector panel. But what I want you to understand is this: when try clicking on your head binding, and or maybe you can just try clicking on effects, and you can definitely see something over here. This is basically the head, all right, which means the head binding shows that there are actually one head, and this image is bind to that head. So sometimes you might have two, like you want to include your friends as well. So it means like you want to take a selfie with your friend included in that photo as well, which means you want to have that glasses on your friend's face as well as your face. To do that, you can just click on head binding, and the face index just change to 1. Click on enter. Now click on effects. You will now have two faces, which means I could definitely add this image on both faces, but for this course we're not going to do that. So let's just click on head binding, just go to face index, click on 0. All right, now when you click on the image part, you can definitely export the glasses that we have actually imported from Giphy. So how do we do that? So you can don't change material or anything else, just change the texture. So texture is basically the image. So just change the texture, just click on it, go to Giphy imports, and double click on this. So now you can see the little glasses being put over here, and obviously you can make it bigger. So this is being doing it manually, all right, because I want to make sure it's like perfect on the face. But definitely you could try doing transform as well, which means you can scale it, you can even rotate it, you can position it, but I prefer doing here. And then you can definitely change the alpha. Alpha means opacity, which means it can be like more like this, or this. So I want to make more like someone could see from it. So this is something nicer. All right. So you don't have to bother about anything else. Just do this thing. So once you have created this, now you have your first lens ready. Okay. But before you could actually publish this lens, I want to make some adjustments. Maybe I want to add something cooler. All right. Maybe a particular object just down here, or maybe at the back over here. So what can I do? So for that, I need to actually go to object panel again, add new, go to legacy, and click on legacy billboard. So legacy billboard is basically a billboard that is attached to the camera, which means this is basically whenever you want to put an image, it will be just attached to it. It will not move around. So unless you are going to import a GIF. So if you're importing a GIF, it's still going to be just attached to the camera, but it will be moving because the GIF has an animation, right? So it keep on moving. So now what you're gonna do is that maybe you want to import another Giphy. Maybe this time I'm gonna put like maybe awesome. So I just want to put the word awesome. So I want to see anything that comes up. Okay, I have cool over here. So this looks cool. Cool, yeah, it definitely looks cool. So just click on the plus icon and then click on add as resource. Now you have the cool icon. All right. So since now you have a cool icon, you can just definitely expand this thing, and you can see that awesome animation by the cool thing. And obviously I'm not going to change the duration because I think it's nice. So I can just go to 2D sprite. Okay, 2D sprite 1, and as soon as after I click that, I will see in my inspector panel having a texture default. I'm going to change this to if imports. Cool. That is cool, right? So I'm gonna just scroll this thing down. Maybe I want to move it all the way down so that it looks nice, right? I want it to be here. But here's the thing. Whenever you put it here, maybe you want to let your friends to try, right? Because you want to make sure it looks nice as a screen. But let's see if it looks nice whenever someone is actually tapping on it. Because if you click on over here and try to go to maybe iPhone 8, right? You can definitely see this is exactly how Snapchat works, because they will have all the lenses over here. So putting cool over here doesn't really make sense, right? So that's exactly how you find whether you should place anything below this line. So what you should do is just go to without simulation, or maybe we can just work with this. Move cool all the way up. Okay, so this will be on top. So this looks better, or maybe you can change maybe to the middle, right? So I'm just gonna put it on top. Now, since we have created this lens, we need to make sure we do one thing right, which is renaming these files. Because as soon as after you start creating lenses, you need to make sure that you are always on track, which means you're keeping track of all the effects that you're adding and where you are adding it. So for image 1 is basically the glasses, right? So I'm just gonna put a rename thing here, because I'm gonna rename, and I'm gonna put rate glasses. Okay, now that's fine for glasses. But now when I go to the orthographic camera, which is the legacy billboard, right? Under effects is 2D sprite, which is the cool part. I'm gonna rename this thing as cool. Now I have the cool part as well as the glasses, right? So before I could just do any adjustment in the project info, I need to make sure I try this thing on my face. So there are two ways to do this. There's one way that I've actually taught you earlier, which is going to the webcam, clicking on it, and you can definitely try that thing in real time. However, you might not have a great webcam, right? So no worries. The other way to do this thing is basically pushing your lens to your device. So if you're new to this particular software, you will have pair your device, which means you got to be able to go and scan the device using your smartphone, and then you will be pairing it. As soon as after you pair, you will be able to push your lens to your device, and that will allow you to use your smartphone to try these cool effects. All right. So now I'm not going to push lens to my device because I really hope this is great, because I've been doing this for quite some time and I do know that this is going to be looking exactly like how it looks over here. Now I gotta check my project file size. Now I'm gonna update this thing, and you can see it's 2.31 MB, okay, which is good. So if I have more than 3.5, 3.8, I definitely need to optimize it. But 2.3 is really good. Now I want to make sure that I change the project info. So here, lens name. So I'm gonna put cool glasses. Now I want to make people, maybe I want to give them a hint. Maybe find a face, right? Maybe like you pick a photo, pick an image, because sometimes you want to add interaction to your augmented reality experience. For instance, if you take the dot filter on Snapchat, you got to open your mouth for you to actually try that interaction where the tongue will be coming out from the mouth, right? So by putting the hint over here, by choosing any of these hints, it will actually allow your friends to understand better. So in this case, I don't really think I want to put any hints, because I guess this is just like self-explanatory, which means as soon as after you on your lens, you can definitely see that. Now, lens icon. You must remember the lens icon must be a square image, no smaller than 320 pixel by 320, right? So this is very important. So one of the software that I use personally to create a lens icon is Canvas, right? So it's like you create your own size, and then you can just put any image and you can just choose lens icon. Now I'm gonna choose a simple lens icon. Let's see if I could just look for an icon over here, if I do have any. Maybe it's a logo, right? So it's like, maybe I want to put this, so I'm gonna put this, and then I can just make it smaller or bigger, but to a certain extent only. All right, so maybe I'm gonna put this for now, and then I save this thing. Lens preview. So if you want to add lens preview, it's very easy. If you don't want to try using your face because you are a bit shy, right? You don't want, maybe if you're shy, you don't have to add lens preview using your face. So the other way of doing this is basically screen capture this thing. Maybe we could just apply it first. Screen capture. And I'm gonna save this thing and desktop. I'm gonna put it as SC screen capture. And then now when I go to project info, I click on lens preview. See, let's wait for it. So you can definitely see that I don't even have to actually have a screen capture now, because I think the updated version already have a lens preview built in, which means it's using the phases that's already being uploaded here, and they are already tying it automatically. So I'm going to choose this, all right, because this looks very cool on him. I'm going to click on apply. So now I've done the lens, I've optimized it, I've seen the size, I've checked the size also, I've put the icon, I've put the lens preview, everything looks great. Now the most important part, because as a creator you are more inspired and motivated to actually create the lens, but nothing will be actually known until you publish the lens and share with your friends. To do that, you need to make sure you click on publish lens. So let's click on publish lens. And now here's the thing, if you're new to publishing lens, you will need to actually log in your details. So you must have a Snapchat account, but if you are already logged in, so you have no worries. You will have either a sponsored lens or a community lens. If you're working with brands, you will be using sponsored lens. In this case, we are not going to use sponsored lens, so we're going to use community lens. This allows the community to be informed that you created a lens, and they will definitely try. So click on this. Now lens text, just like hashtags on Instagram or maybe like Twitter or maybe any other social media platform, lens do have tags as well. This allows your lens to be very accessible for the rest of the community. So it's as easy as them searching for it, and then yours might just come up. Maybe you want to put like cool, right? So maybe I can just put cool, and then I'm gonna put like awesome, right? I'm gonna put glasses, and then I'm gonna put rate cool. So maybe I can just do that thing because I can't have spaces, so I'm gonna put this, right? Now once I have done that, now I've already have the preview, I can just submit. If I submit, it's gonna be live. If I don't submit, then it will just stay in this page. So I'm gonna submit now. If you are already submitted something and you want to do some updates, you can definitely update existing lenses. So I'm gonna submit because this is a new one. So I'm gonna wait for a second because this is my first time publishing a lens today, so I'm going to just look for it. So you can see I've actually created plenty of lenses over here for the past 1 year and like maybe few months now. I think like more like 15 months now. So it's in review. Okay, so since it's in review, you will never be able to see the snap code or anything just like this. So for example, you can actually see the snap code over here. You can see the views, the plays, the shares, and all those things, but you can't definitely see these things whenever it's in review. But when, let me see if, let's say if I refresh, yeah, see, if I refresh, then once I refresh, I can see it's live. So sometimes when you refresh, you will definitely see it's live. Sometimes it will take some time, what you call maybe like a couple of minutes. But no worries, as soon as after you see it's live, you can definitely use your smartphone, scan this thing, you can share as a link as well. So there are two ways to share. One, basically capturing this thing and sharing with your friends. Another one is basically copying this thing and just sharing with your friends on different other social media platforms. So that's how we created our very first augmented reality experience using Lens Studio. So the next video, I'm going to talk about a certain areas that you should be focusing on whenever you are creating your lenses. Till then, see you.